You're listening to Brigade Radio 1.
Welcome to the Antisocial Show.
They're coming. They're coming. They're coming. They're coming to get you.
And here's your hosts, Underblock and Tyson Sater.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Anti-Social Show, a show that says we love the supernatural and the macabre. I am Hunter Block, and he's
Tyson Saner.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm okay. I having a little tech, issues beforehand, which, I could have just ignored, but it's literally just the most recent annoyance that I was dealing with, so it's on my mind a little bit, but I'm okay.
So now, when you say tech issues, podcast gremlins again?
It's something. Yeah, it's just, it's basically like, in order to get the recording that ends up the way it does when it becomes a video, which there's videos on my channel, I'm adding more as I go. There is a series of things that have to fall into place. I have to be able to pick up your sound and my sound, and it needs to go into actually two separate places in order to be combined later into what becomes a show, an episode. So I'm recording our video in one method that only records your sound, and I'm using the microphone on the computer in Audacity to record both of our sound. So what ends up happening is that if it's only the video, then people aren't going to hear me. So it's going to be like, you'll say something and I'll be like,
oh, kind of like you. So, listener, you can't hear it, but Tyson's actually just moving his mouth, like talking.
right.
Trying to demonstrate what he's talking about. So,
Right. So that was thank you. And that's a concern. So that's why I record my sound separately, because then technically I'm also recording yours on the same one. So if you and I both sound good on the audio only track, I can then replace the audio of the video track completely and then just adjust it, for whatnot. So like this video will record with its own audio track, but again, it would just be your audio and anybody else on the line. So like with Mr. Zimmerman, for example, it was you and Mr. Zimmerman, and then like half of my audio for some reason was blank. Like the whole file was there, but there was a big blank spot. There was nothing. So I just kind of compensated for that by filling in the bits that I remembered that I had said, and then, giving an explanation. So, behind the scenes stuff. That's all. So that was a good 5 to 6 minutes on that. But, stuff happens. This stuff doesn't just magically occur. I'm letting the audience know. It's that, if there are probably easier ways to do a podcast. I don't know what they are because I had to develop a way. It
works.
Yeah. It does.
So,
it does. And that's what's important.
Yes. So, dear listener, now that you've heard the technical aspects of what goes on behind the scenes, I don't think the neighbors really hear Tyson cursing too much during the editing process.
No, I got it pretty well isolated here. Or not isolated, but insulated, I guess. I hear that damn fan spin up all the time, though, and that throws off the recording. That's the only like real downside to using Audacity on another computer, is that computer has to do that because it's running an actual hard drive. It's like it's a desktop. We're recording on a laptop. It's a really convoluted, it's more high tech than the end result would have you believe. The way I look at it. Like that makes sense. Yeah. Like there are people that do podcasts like pretty much live, or they do it, for YouTube or whatnot. Like the setup over at your mom's house is really good. They got a table. It might have changed since I was watching it, but they had a table. They had a big screen that he could use like as a second screen for his laptop and slide pictures onto it or videos onto it, so you could look up at the big screen as they're sitting on the table. They had multiple angles, so it was somebody was probably running a Elgato Stream Deck of some sort or something. Maybe he was. I saw Tom manipulating a lot of stuff. Tom Segura manipulating a lot of stuff on his end, and then they have a secondary producer. But it's like, yeah, it's a great looking, great sounding show, and they have help. Is my point, and they also do a lot of the tough stuff themselves to some degree. They're also dealing with having 2 kids, so Anyway,
So, ladies and gentlemen, so I've been teasing Tyson a little bit on the content that I've been putting together for the past 2 weeks. And so to give you a little bit of an insight, real time, it is very much August 16th, 2021. As you know that August, summer is coming to a end in a big bad way. And I know for a lot of people out there, they love summertime. They get excited, they get sad when it goes. But for us, the Halloween season starts September 1st and runs until November 2nd. And I got to thinking about the Halloween episode because if you really think about it, 2020 sucked balls. And even though we did an awesome Halloween episode last year, thank you again, Laura. Technically, we had 2 guests on because we had Laura on, Tyson's wife, and of course, Tyson's kid. But Tyson's kid was sleeping during the ordeal. So that was his first time on podcast, even though he was sleeping through the whole ordeal. But the episode was great. So, but I got to thinking this year, what could we do, special? We need to do something special because 2020 sucks so bad. So I got to thinking about finding a haunted location, and I don't mean like a haunted hayride or anything like that. I'm talking about an actual haunted location. And, of course, Tyson will be in the studio on his half. I will be at said location and we'll be doing an episode. So that was my thought process. And also, too, while I was thinking about that, didn't we do an episode where we were talking about Action Park?
We did.
Yes. Now, I have no way of knowing if that's an abandoned place or not, or if it reopened or, whatever it was. But, right around the time I had this idea, I was thinking about Action Park, and I'm like, it would be cool to explore something abandoned. But nothing that, would result in my death or me getting arrested, of course.
Sure.
We're gonna do everything in a safe manner. We're going to get permission to be there, wherever said place is. And then I got to thinking about another idea. Since we don't know when this episode will take place, I'm inviting a listener to join us on said episode. All you got to do is Skype in. You don't even have to leave the comfort of your house. So that would be really cool because we want to hear from you guys. I mean, we've been doing this for 5 years now, and I think it's time you guys start to become verbal. Not unless you guys listen to the show because it is called Antisocial Show, and you're all antisocial, so maybe that's why you don't reach out to us. But we're not taking offense to this. Columbus. Yeah, that was my whole thought process for the Halloween episode this year.
So whoever's in Columbus I don't think they've listened to or heard the most recent episode yet, or haven't heard the shout out. But
not yet.
I don't know if it's one person listening to lots of episodes or multiple people listening to lots of episodes. So it's hard to say. Yeah.
Now that would be cool. Like how they have like a book club, and everyone goes to someone's house and they have like their little glasses of wine and they talk about the book. That would be cool if it was like that for us in Columbus. Like people get together at someone's house and have a couple of glasses of wine and listen to the episode and discuss.
That would be surreal.
That would be. I mean, I would hope that they're they're sane people.
Speaking of wine, are you drinking tonight?
I am. Only because I plan on I plan on going for a couple weeks without having the once a week drink. Kind of like I'm giving up smoking too, actually. So I'm actually I'm quitting. So I'm actually trying to get back in better health.
That's good. That's good. The thing about quitting cigarettes is you just have to keep quitting.
Yep.
Without starting again in between. You just continue to quit. That's how it works.
Very true.
Yeah. And then, by the way, after it gets out of your system, you just replace it with other things and other things to put your attention on. And whatever smoking cigarettes was to you in general as well, people out there, whatever that gap that it filled, you replace it with other things. Some people replace it with other addictions. Some people replace it with hobbies. But once you're no longer reliant on the nicotine, it's just so much easier to ignore it. I still have cravings, but then I smell cigarette smoke being smoked by somebody else, and it just smells disgusting to me. So that helps. That helps.
I think the last time I quit, I became addicted to Burger King.
It can become food. Definitely can become food for some people. Are you going to be attempting to use any kind of pharmaceutical help, like, say, Wellbutrin or something, or are you just going to go cold turkey as best as possible?
My doctor gave me, I forget what it's called now because it's underneath the bathroom sink. My doctor gave me medication for it, but I think I'm just going to go cold turkey.
All right. Well, all right. Cool. Do what you need to. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it to quit. I quit.
I think so.
I quit smoking when I was just a little bit around 40. I was
okay.
It was somewhere between 39 and 41, definitely. So it had been.
I didn't even know you smoked.
Well, I definitely quit smoking before we started the podcast, because I quit in 2014. So August 2014.
No, you weren't like a chain smoker or nothing like that, were you?
So if a chain smoker is taking one cigarette and lighting your next cigarette with that cigarette before putting out the old cigarette and continue on to the next cigarette, then no. If it's having a cigarette not long after the first one, or not long after the last one, I should say, or the most recent one, if that's chain smoking, then sure. Because
yeah.
What ended up happening toward the end, though, is I was smoking American Spirits, right? That was my favorite brand. And what I would do is I would need to get up and have a cigarette a lot, but instead of going outside and smoking an entire cigarette, I'd break one cigarette up into like 4 cigarette breaks. So I'd just get those few puffs, like, okay, this is what I need, and then it was easy to kind of put it out gently and get like blow out the smoke out the end, and then when you refried it or smoked it again, it didn't taste terrible. So, or at least it didn't. Now, the thing about tasting terrible, that's a weird delineation to make, because for people who really need to smoke, it doesn't matter how it tastes, but like I would re-roll cigarette butts into, filterless cigarettes. I was, so it wasn't like smoking a lot, but I was definitely keeping my habit going kind of in a desperate sort of clawing way, I wouldn't go around to ashtrays and collect people's cigarettes and then, unroll them and put them into a bag. I know this is very specific, but no, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that is very specific.
That's, by the way, but I do that with our own cigarettes, so wouldn't go looking for, because it's pretty desperate. But yeah, so Mundungus, I believe is what that's called, is recycled tobacco. Yeah. Mundungus. Yeah, I believe it's Mundungus.
That's a new word.
Yeah.
That's a new word.
Well, it's also the name of a character in a Harry Potter story. It's Mundungus Fletcher, I believe, is his name, is the character's name. But that's what Mundungus is, and oddly enough, but a Fletcher, I believe, is a person who makes arrows. So, not an arrowsmith, although I guess an arrowsmith would also make arrows.
Yes. So, that was like our 10-second little rant about cigarettes, but
cigarettes and language. Mm-hmm.
So the anti-social club in Columbus, you guys meet and I'm just making this stuff up, I think. But you guys get together, you listen to the episode, whatever episode happens to be aired, and you have your little wine, you're talking about it and stuff like that. I'm personally inviting the club onto the show for the Halloween episode so that you guys can be a part of the magical experience. Like I said, Tyson will very much be in the studio recording. I will have my my smartphone, my iPhone, doing Skype that way, and we'll be doing. I was thinking about getting one of those. I have like one of those flashlights that you has like a headband attached to it, almost like you look like a miner. And I'm going to put that on my head, and that's what I'm going to have for when we're doing this, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be at night, of course. So I want to be able to see, and we'll just take a walk through and discuss what's happening. And now I'm going to tell you this now, guys. I can't promise that or guarantee that we'll see a ghost or hear anything, but we're going to try. So.
Did you already see what the location was, or are you saving that information?
Oh, no. I haven't picked a location yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I don't think I'm going to save it for a surprise. I think once I find the location, I'm going to post it on the on our social media pages. And like I said, I'm inviting you guys to join us during that whole experience, and hopefully, I don't get possessed by ghosts or demons or anything like that. So now. I also don't run, so if you see me run, then there's something following me, and that's when I say, okay, that's all we have time for Antisocial Show. I'm Hunter Block, and he's...
Tyson Sainer.
Right, as I'm running, and I'll be like, peace! So, I mean, yeah.
Be decent to each other.
Pretty much. I mean, I got the idea also, too. I have what's called the Weird New Jersey magazine, which I read, and it's basically a magazine where people send in weird, interesting stories about places and things and people. And the thing about Jersey is that Jersey is a wonderful, weird place. We have a little bit of everything, but I feel like every time I turn around, there's developers that are, knocking buildings down or tearing away old houses or clearing away trees and just making nonsensical shit that doesn't need to be there, like a strip mall or a gated community or something like that. So, before a lot of these weird, interesting places go away, I figured, why not? Now, I'm not saying like that's a thing that's going to happen like relatively soon, like all these weird places are going to go away, but eventually they will be. They will go away to the wayside, and it'd be nice to explore them. So,
true. Yeah,
in fact, I was just talking to Ethan earlier about that. About ghost hunts and things that go bump in the night.
Ethan Dettenmeyer?
Yeah, I talked to him about 4 hours ago, something like that.
Nifty.
So,
Nifty.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely it would be an interesting thing to do, and plus we need to bring back Halloween in a big bad way, and what better way to do that than to see if I can't meet Casper. The friendly ghost. Hopefully he's friendly anyway.
A ghost hunt. Yeah, it's funny. The ghost hunt, or watching a ghost hunt on television, became the replacement Halloween activity for Laura and I for a long time there. We used to watch Ghost Hunters on Sci-Fi.
Oh, yes.
And she likes Ghost Adventurers, I think it's called, with Zach Bagans and whoever else is still on the show. But they're very different in tone, certainly. Different type
now,
of show.
Do they try to debunk? So when they go to the locations and they start doing the ghost hunts, do they try to debunk it first?
Which they? Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventurers?
Ghost Adventurers.
Ghost Adventurers, I don't think that debunking is really their thing, or at least it wasn't when the early seasons and all. I don't know what it's become. I don't know if it's still on. We watched I think the first 3 or 4 seasons of it. But they're more especially Zach is pretty much a true believer. Occasionally when he'll throw in little bits of information we saw an orb. Now, of course, orbs are not, indicative of actual hauntings, but they are some kind of unexplained phenomenon or something like that. He'll so to where he doesn't seem like too much of a guy who believes, but he definitely believes, he already believes that there are ghosts. Right. So if you do, I believe that one becomes more susceptible to perceiving a ghost, whether it's there or not. They're more likely to see something that seems ghost-like and attribute it to paranormal activity when it's something unexplained. And that's fine. And then the ghost hunters, on the other hand, they each had their own, like the two main guys who were on the show at the beginning, Grant and Jason. They're not both on the show anymore. At least they weren't for a while. I don't know if one of the other guys come back or not, but it's been a while since I've seen these shows. But they've each had some kind of a experience in the past that made them more interested in the paranormal and definitely believe there was something going on. But they're also, this is part of the thing, is that they're plumbers for Roto-Rooters. So
yes,
sometimes knocking in the walls can be attributed to pipes and whatnot. So they learned that there's a lot of things that people think are hauntings,
and they're really not.
And they're not. They learned about how electromagnetic frequencies, or I think it is, or high electric frequencies can give people like feelings of unease, the feeling you're being watched. Some people can even have low-level hallucinations, and then so people can be affected by outside forces and think they're experiencing something paranormal when it's literally just things affecting their perception that are not paranormal. They are scientific. I don't know. They are something else. They're not ghosts. The point is it's not ghosts. So, but then, there's a lot of good stuff on that show. They had, many hauntings not hauntings. They had many investigations that, yielded interesting results, but nothing too like, oh, wow, that's amazing. But then they would have ones that would stand out and be like, I don't know what that is, but it's interesting. Like they did the Stanley Hotel, I believe, I think it's Colorado, the thing that the Overlook Hotel in The Shining is based on.
Yes.
They did that one. They did the St. Augustine, I think it's Florida, lighthouse. And that one, there was a couple of, things that happened in that lighthouse that were bizarre and ended up on the edit as being like, strange. So that was cool, but like, it's, I never seen anything on any of these shows that made me go, oh, ghosts absolutely exist. Like, I kind of do believe that there are ghosts, but I've never seen anything on television show that went, oh yeah, that was definitely 100% not explainable as anything other than a ghost. And I've never.
No, this is very true.
And that's just me, though. I mean, if I experience something that I can't explain and it seems like a haunting, then that'd be great. I mean, I'd love for there to be, absolute proof of life beyond death.
Now, I don't mind going to a haunted place, but I would never go to a place that's possessed by demons. So that's going to be off the table right now. Sorry, guys. Watch the movie Demons and you'll understand why.
Oh. Is it that the Italian one?
No. No. So this is it's an 80s movie. It's essentially I don't want to say it's a low budget because their special effects are actually pretty off the chart. But essentially it's about a bunch of teenagers who basically break into a mansion that was once a funeral parlor to party on Halloween night, and one by one they are being possessed by the demon,
of course,
that resides there. So, I'm not going to any place that has demons or nothing like that because, like I said, I want to live. Mm-hmm. But ghosts. I don't mind dealing with ghosts. I mean, and for the record, everybody, I'm not going to be like one of those people that, want to, try to get, well, we don't really deal with ratings or nothing like that doing a soundcast, but I'm not going to be one of those people that go there prior, set up, pranks or special effects or anything like that to get a rise from anybody. Certainly not. Everything's going to be totally legit. So, like I said, that's why I said I can't guarantee that we will see anything. Or hear anything, but it'll be one hellacious show. That's all I know.
Sounds like it. So, what is it that you're drinking tonight, Hunter?
Oh, same stuff I'm always drinking. It's called Carnivore, except this is a different label this time. This is a gold label.
Carnivore gold label. All right. I'm actually going to go get a beverage and join you in a drink. So I'll be right back.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can either go ahead.
Yeah, then I'll just grab myself a smoke while you do that.
Okay.
And we'll take an intermission, and we will be right back, you sexy people, you.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we drinking, Tyson?
Well, tonight I've got some Old Grove Gin and Tonic from Cutwater Spirits.
Nice.
Gin and Tonic in a can.
Ooh.
Yeah, this same brand also has, I think they have rum and cokes, and then they have Moscow Mules and some other stuff. But I like a gin and tonic, and I haven't had one in a while. So it says Old Grove Gin with natural cucumber and grapefruit flavors, quinine and carbonation. Oh, so yeah. Normally I like a gin and tonic with a bit of lime.
Mm.
But I'll take, what was it? Cucumber and grapefruit. I like citrus.
There you go.
All right, so hopefully this won't just spray out all over because that would be that'd be terrible.
Salute. You trying to see if the sound will pick up on the fizz?
Oh, it's definitely picking up. It's not picking up there, but it's picking up on this. Okay. Oh, I can smell the cucumber. Right, salute. Chin chin.
And how is it?
It's better than I expected. It's pretty good. I actually like drinking tonic water by itself. And depending. But it usually tastes kind of like high fructose-y. It's hard to find maybe it's not hard to find, but I find it hard to find tonic water that's sweetened with sugar. So
I dare to say I've never had a gin and tonic before.
Well, how do you feel about gin?
I've had gin. To me, I can have it on the occasion.
Some people feel it's kind of medicinal.
Yeah, it's like a sophisticated drink to me. It's like kind of like like when you're going to have like a after dinner drink, like a
Oh yeah.
what am I drawing out? Not cognac.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say and then I can't remember because there's the one that's before an aperitif, I believe, is what's before a meal. So like people tend to drink like bitter things, is my understanding. So like a Fernet Branca, which I've never had, or Campari, which I have had. I got some Campari recently. I also found a good mixer for Southern Comfort, which I'd never really had much of. You ever had Southern Comfort?
Oh, yeah, never again.
Right.
Me and Soko, we had a bad night together one night going back when I was 22? No, 21.
Mm-hmm.
22. And it was me, my brother, and our cousin, and we had sort of like a guys' night at the house, and we were drinking SoCo and Steel Reserve. And never again.
Steel Reserve, that's a beer, right?
Yes.
So were you mixing them together, or are you just going like a beer and a shot, and the shot was SoCo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it's fruity bourbon.
Yeah, never again. I was worshiping the porcelain throne, and it was dark when I went into the bathroom. It was light when I came out, and I passed out on the floor, and that's all I remember. And I was hungover for like 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, never again.
We rarely talk about excess or drinking to excess on this show. But separately from that, I will say I never really had much experience with SoCo by itself. And then I had it recently, and to me, I know it's supposed to be fruit flavored bourbon, but it tastes kind of more like specifically like bubblegum kind of ish. Like that sweetness reminds me more of bubblegum than any particular fruit. So at any rate, I found a good mixer for it where it doesn't taste like the SoCo, and then the other thing kind of adds to it. Now, are you familiar with the San Pellegrinos?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Like in the can, they have the different fruit flavors. They have fruit flavors.
Uh-oh. Tyson's flagged, everybody.
Yeah. Like, well, they have like orange ones, but they're like Italian names. So it's like Aranciata or something, but, it's orange or blood orange or whatever, And then, well, hold on. They got one that's called, no, go ahead, ask a question, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, they have one that's lemon and mint flavor. So it's like lemonade with mint, right? So if you've ever had bourbon with sour or lemon, that's probably pretty good. And if you've ever had bourbon with mint, that's also pretty good because it's like a mint julep. So if you put the lemon mint in with the Southern Comfort and then mix it taste kind of like iced tea, and it's pretty good. It's surprisingly good that way.
No, what I was going to say was I know I normally tend to have a few glasses of wine when I'm doing the show because it's a relaxing time and everything like that, kind of like my book my book club time. But I will not be doing that, obviously, when I'm on location hunting for the ghosts, because that wouldn't be good. Particularly since I'll probably be by myself, and I'll be like, you listen here, ghosts. You're going to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you want to talk to me? I'm sorry. No, nothing like that.
So you won't be indulging in spirits while looking for other spirits.
Correct. Yeah, that would be bad.
So speaking of ghosts from the past, sorry, go ahead.
I'll be like, no, go ahead.
Oh, all right. No, I was going to enjoy your improv, I suppose. But speaking of ghosts from the past, I just finally released. I've been able to work on things lately and get things out, but I released episode 76, the video version on YouTube, and episode 76 is Lint Collection.
Oh my God, that was friggin' hysterical that night. And apparently superfan Dana Lucas loves that episode too, because I was calling you the neighborhood lint dealer, and yeah, that was just a riot because out of all the things I never expected like that. I've never heard of that before, where someone takes like lint and does cool things with it. So that to me that was it was both funny and awesome at the same time. So it's and you get like this big old lint roll, like log or whatever it is coming out, and it's just like that was friggin' hysterical. I watched the video yesterday, and yeah, laughing my ass off.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it was amusing. It was. I think we refer to it in the future, so it's definitely going to be, in the video versions of our episodes that are to come. I believe it comes up because it's not like it would have come up before that. And
true.
We've got. So it's 76. That means there's about 20. About 20 that haven't been published yet, basically. So I'm working on those. I've also been putting out, I don't know if we mentioned this, probably not on the last episode because I was with Ethan, and we haven't done one, you and me in a while. But,
oh, this is true.
Yeah. I mean, we did do that in explaining Minecraft video.
Yes.
That was fun.
That was fun, actually. And it got me interested in Minecraft. But yeah, it just dawned on me. We haven't done an episode without a guest in a long time, so this is the first time where it's just you and I and the audience. Now, again, if you join us, whoever it is that's joining us for this, hopefully you're out there somewhere. Just please don't be crazy like Annie Wilkes crazy, where you're our number one fan and you want to tie us to the bed and all that good fun stuff. You know how to reach us. Obviously, so if you want to make that a thing, just let us know, because it would be fun to have finally a listener on the show, and of course, be interactive as you possibly can, or if you want to listen, you can just watch and listen, whatever it is. But yeah, I think that would be fun. So and of course, there's no pressure. You don't have to be nervous about doing this. There is nothing live about this. As I mentioned quite a bit over the years. Not yet, but I will. It's obviously not live, so it's you don't have to worry about stuttering, or if you screw up a word or whatever it is. We can always redo it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no pressure, no pressure to be funny or to perform. It's just to hang out. So that's what it is.
Pretty much.
But feel free to be as delightful as you'd like to be, but it's you also there's no obligation to feel like you have to be on, as it were, whoever you might be.
Me, I always put pressure on myself to do the best I possibly can each and every episode.
Oh yeah, me too.
That's just me.
But I do as well. But I mean, like for guests, it's like a lot of the a lot of the people that we've have had on are performers in their own way.
Yes.
Whether they're podcasters absolutely. Or whether they're personalities, they are kind of used to having performing as part of their job, it's part of their persona.
Absolutely.
So I'm saying is people don't need to feel pressured to do that in order to be a guest.
Not at all.
No, I mean, if anything, just be yourself, and if being yourself is in performance mode, enjoy doing that as well. We want you to be comfortable.
Please just don't do a lot of drugs before you come on the show because we want you to make sense. That's important, is for you to make sense.
Yeah, I guess I'm not ruling out the person doing that. I don't want to scare anybody off. I mean, a train wreck can be it's a good strain. No, a train wreck can be fine. Can be a thing. I prefer green crack to train wreck, but that's me.
The one person is probably listening, like, damn, you said I couldn't do my coke before I came on. I ain't gonna come on that guy's show now.
Yeah, well, if it's I can't remember the person's name. But Edgar Smith or the third or whatever the hell it was that Andy Kindler was saying, I wrote it in our show description as one of the tags as this made up name that he said that and that was, I don't know, but never mind.
Andy Kindler, for those, by the time you listen to this episode, you should have already heard the Andy episode and of course the Ethan Dentonmeyer episode, and I can say that having Andy Kindler on the show was awesome. Easy to talk to. He just sounds full of stories, funny as hell.
Very nice.
Very nice. I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, he was very he's this sort of playfulness about his sense of humor, which I appreciate, because he does a lot of self-deprecating stuff. So it's like and sort of like, I don't want to say anti-comedy, but there's this element of like part of his, it's not really his act or his routine, but I guess part of the persona that he puts out on stage is a person who's failing what they're doing, or he does joke deconstruction, kind of stuff too. Like,
I think that was kind of my attitude in the beginning when we first started doing the show. It was, you don't need to make fun of me because I can already tell you that our two audio listeners are just like two crackheads in a crack den. So that's me making fun of myself. So that's always been like a part of my character. I mean, I don't want to say like everything you hear about me on the show is some character that I made up. Parts of it, I definitely do. Basically turn it up a notch or two when I'm doing this. But essentially what it developed over the years was I developed a switch in my head, and I can turn that switch on and off at will. So I mean, I could be entertaining while on the show. I could be entertaining while off the show now, where I wasn't able to do that before. And as I always said whether you're joining us for the first time or you've been with us for the whole time,
pardon me,
I'm not funny. I just tell funny musings, so to speak, and I think that's. And I obviously embellish a little bit by throwing some dash here, dash there, and a dash up there, and of course that's what makes it funny. But I mean,
I think you're the entertaining one on the show, so that's
Oh, you are definitely entertaining yourself. I've always said that. I mean, you've had me. There's been times when you've had me where I couldn't breathe, especially Invisible Thumbs, that episode, where you just had me dying. Or that episode we had where we were talking to Marty Yu, and you're doing something about you're describing something, and to me it looked like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was Spider-Man 2. It was Spider-Man 2,
yes,
the video game.
That's what it was, and I was dying. It was hilarious.
Well, I thank you. I'm glad I can make you laugh.
Now I don't know if I'm entertaining or funny, all the time, but I try at least, to be that 90% of the time.
I'd say you succeed. I gotta check on something real quick here.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, I'm just gonna be right here, but I want to see see if I can get an answer real quick.
Okay.
Hey Google, how many fluid ounces of liquid are in a standard well drink?
According to Ask Numbers, 1 litre is equal to 33.814026 fluid ounces.
I asked the question too slowly. Hey Google, how many ounces of liquid are in a standard well drink?
According to Very Well Mind, ounces in one standard drink. Beer and wine coolers. Beer and wine coolers are typically 5% alcohol, and a standard drink is 12 fluid ounces. Cider. Cider is about 6% alcohol, and a standard drink is about 10 fluid ounces.
No. Okay. Okay. Hey Google, how many ounces of liquid are in a well drink?
According to Bin Wise, a standard liquor pour at most bars across the US is 1.5 ounces.
Oh.
Most. There are some notable exceptions. Some larger corporate establishments pour 1.25 ounces, while some higher-end establishments with complex signature cocktails will pour 2 ounces.
Interesting. Okay, so basically your standard gin and tonic is going to be 2 ounces of liquor to, 2 to 3 ounces of soda, I guess. Maybe it's 2 ounces. Maybe it's supposed to be 2 ounces of each. So that's about 4 ounces of liquid, right?
Right.
And your standard well drink goes for, well, it used to be like $3 to $4, and now I'm guessing it's going to be $6 to $8 for a well drink. Yeah. So this is a 12-ounce can. It's a gin and tonic, and this was, I'm going to say it's between $5 and $6.
Right.
So it's about it's about a quarter of the cost that you would get for a well drink, or it's the same price as a well drink, but it's 4 times more alcohol, or 4 times more drink. So I not a sponsor, but I'm a fan of the format.
Well, you're not obviously feeling it, so I mean you're good.
What are you saying? I'm not obviously becoming intoxicated?
Correct.
That's that's an old trick. I'm not, as far as I know, I'm not, I don't feel intoxicated at the moment, but I'm enjoying the taste of the drink.
My old trick, if I wanted to drink, which I'm not a big drinker, but if it was going to be one of those situations where I was drinking, number one, I would eat something extremely heavy and greasy and a lot of it before drink time. Number two, I would pace myself and drink water in between.
It's a good idea. If you're drinking hard alcohol, so you're saying. How do you feel about...
Which I never... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, which I never really... I never was really into hard alcohol to begin with, so it's,
I went through a definite hard alcohol period where I like to drink. I used to like to really used to like to drink. My drink of choice was, I would say, a rusty nail, but neat. So like no ice, just the scotch and drambuie mixed together in a glass. Because to me it tasted like cinnamon was kind of a dominant flavor in it. I don't think drambuie has cinnamon in it, but the combination of the two things made it taste kind of cinnamony. And also, I'm not sure I really like the taste of scotch by itself.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Like many scotches I've tasted remind me of I don't want to say they taste like formaldehyde, but they taste like the smell of formaldehyde makes me think of, or whatever, however that works out.
Now, we've never actually had a Drunk Tyson on the show before. Now, would you say that Drunk Tyson is a funny is like a good time, like, let's dance and just be stupid, or is like Drunk Tyson an asshole?
Drunk Tyson can get loose, yeah. Drunk Tyson likes karaoke, or liked karaoke, certainly. So Drunk Tyson is more apt to sing out of comfort rather than nervousness.
Gotcha.
Sober Tyson will sing softly to himself when he's nervous, but Drunk Tyson will sing loud and freely if, there's music. And we'll try to get other people to sing with him.
Born to be wild.
To be wild.
If we ever make it to the West Coast again, you and I, and bring the wives too, but we'll definitely have to go to a karaoke bar, grab a few drinks, and sing some karaoke.
Yeah, we'll have to find one, and also, COVID, so we got to be careful.
No, that's very true. That's very true.
But there's karaoke on YouTube. So
yes,
there is. We can literally just spin up a karaoke song, find a version of it, and then just sing at your television while it's playing. So that's kind of cool.
That is.
And alcohol at home.
Yep.
So yeah, as long as we're talking about alcohol, did I tell you that I'd recently acquired a bottle of Campari?
No.
Are you familiar with Campari?
Vaguely.
So what do you know of it, so I can fill in the gaps?
Trying to think.
Okay.
No, you're just gonna have to tell me.
Okay. What color is it, for starters? Have you ever seen a bottle of Campari?
I did a long time ago.
Okay. It's red. It's very red.
Yes.
It's like a dark red.
It's almost like a I don't want to say a bourbon color, but
no, it's definitely more red than brown.
I was thinking of a dark color actually.
It is pretty dark. Yeah, it's dark in the bottle. It's a hold on, there's a bit of a slowdown happening on the computer here. Let me check this. Motor running. All right, so yeah, it's red. It's an aperitif, I guess, and it's really bitter. It tastes like orange. Oh boy, this is really slowed down.
I was gonna say it didn't have a sweet taste.
It does, but it's not apparent. I realize that you kind of have to drink it under ideal circumstances. Unless you have a real taste for it, it's not a good idea to drink it at room temperature by itself.
Now, when you say ideal circumstances, is that when you're sitting by yourself in a dark room listening to Diana Ross, perhaps?
I just mean it's like there are better ways to have alcohol. People like it in soda, is what I'm saying, like mixers, like just soda. And, people like it in a drink called a Negroni, where it's basically it's gin, it's sweet vermouth, and Campari. And so it does have sweetness, but it's not apparent maybe necessarily the first time, unless you kind of hold a small amount in your mouth and kind of run it over the various parts of your tongue and whatnot. There is sweetness in it, but there's a lot of bitterness. So it's so I'm also discovering the effect that soda has on alcohols, what it does to it gives alcohols with strong certain types of strong flavor profiles a completely different character, because for some reason cold carbonated water makes it easier to drink things that have harsher or more pronounced flavors. I did not know this, so I had my first Campari and soda not that long ago, and I was like, wow, this completely changes it. And I didn't, I never really had it. I wasn't sure I liked it. I got the idea to try it from that movie, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, the Wes Anderson movie, because everybody's drinking, well, not everybody, but maybe everybody are drinking Campari in there, and it looks like cranberry juice. It's so red, There's a scene where Bill Murray is just drinking it out of a plastic cup, and he's just pours it in, and he's standing on a beach or something, or on a cliff, or I don't know, and he's just thinking or whatever, and he's just drinking it. He's drinking it like it tastes good, is my point. And I was talking to my brother about this, and he's like, maybe it's a joke. I'm like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It might be a joke. It might be there's people who know what Campari tastes like and thinking nobody would drink Campari like that. But it's a big joke on people who are like, oh, I'd like to try Campari, because it's a pretty challenging flavor profile if you're used to just tasting things that kind of taste good.
Now,
It's definitely an acquired taste. Go ahead.
is it the same type of acquired taste for, let's say, warm sake, perhaps?
Oh, I don't know. Warm sake's nice. Like, or especially
It is
hot,
nice.
like hot sake, you know? It's like,
Yes. I love hot sake.
it's like alcoholic tea.
For me, my first experience with sake, first of all, it smelled like, it tasted like, to me, it tasted like boiled water. Like I just started drinking, like, I took the boiled water out of the pot and started drinking it.
Okay.
But it also smelled like rubbing alcohol to me.
Sake did?
But, yeah. But not anymore because I love traditional hot sake. So once I got past all that, I can sit there and just drink it. But sake is a very it's very strong alcohol, and it's a rice wine, obviously, but it's a strong wine. But I like to have sake. My first sake experience actually was at an hibachi restaurant.
Oh, nice.
And yeah. And there was a snowstorm happening outside, so when I walked, like after dinner, having the whole bottle of sake, I walked outside and felt nice. I'm like, yeah, this is great. I didn't care about the snow at all, but as far as like, let's say you take even like cranberry juice, for example, because it looks like cranberry juice, you said, even like cranberry juice is an acquired taste. So even like wine is an acquired taste because not too many people like dry red wine. I happen to love dry red wine. That's all I ever drink. I can't drink white wine because it's now I obviously red wine and white wine are made from grapes, obviously get that part, but for some reason white always gives me heartburn or indigestion really bad where the red doesn't. So that's why I tend to stay away from the white and I just go with the red. But there is a wine. It's friggin' now my wine I drink is very bitter. I don't really like sweet wine. I will occasionally indulge in a sangria, obviously, but there is a wine. It's sweet, and it looks and tastes like Welch's grape juice. You can only get it in Pennsylvania. You could probably get it in California if you order it over. It's called Guilty. And it's delicious, dude. Like, you could drink a whole bottle and not even taste the alcohol. Like, you'll taste it at the very, very end, but, oh yeah, it's a good time.
The wine is called Guilty?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, wine, I think, is a little more of an acquired taste because there's so many different flavors of wine that you really got to kind of find one you like. And then you got to hope that every single bottle of it tastes basically the same.
Pretty much.
But, I mean, I don't know how realistic that is. Like, when I think of a wine that tastes exactly the same or that I would expect to taste exactly the same as the last batch, it's usually wines that have been mass-produced. Like, I assume that wines like Ernest and Julio Gallo have been mass-produced. I assume that. Because it seems ubiquitous. Or maybe it was just popular. And I have Gallo wine. Like, I had Gallo Sangria before, and it's nice over ice. But then there's, like, real Sangria, which is, homemade. But I mean, like, Sangrias that are, like, Gallo's got a Burgundy. They've got a I think they've got a Blush Chablis, which might have been the first wine I tasted where I thought, oh, this is kind of nice because it wasn't too bitter and it wasn't too sour and it wasn't too sweet. But then there's wines like Moscatos, which are pretty sweet, and there's dessert wines. Digestif, that's the after.
Yes.
That's the after meal. There's the aperitif before meal and digestif after meal.
Gotcha.
Yes.
There is now. I hope you people out there are listening because I love you,
and I hope you're listening and not like craving a beverage and like going off of your Alcoholics Anonymous program out there. I apologize in advance if
No, but
we're triggering anybody.
No, hopefully not. But there is something out there that I turn everybody onto, because it is good. Now, keep in mind, I used to indulge in the occasional vodka, particularly Smirnoff sour apple.
Oh.
Now, yes. So every once in a while, obviously, because we do these shows on my day off,
obviously,
I would indulge in the occasional vodka, but not like to the point where I'm like, I don't know where I am and how come people doesn't like me. That's nothing like that. I promise you. But there is a vodka that you could drink, because I certainly did there years ago, that tastes like iced tea, and it looks like it's brown. It's the only vodka that is brown. You put it in the fridge to get it cold. Now you can either drink it straight up or you can drink it with iced tea. I used to do half and half, so half iced tea, half lemonade. And it's called Firefly, and it's delicious.
Firefly vodka?
Oh, the name of it's called Firefly. It's delicious. It's like drinking iced tea.
That's interesting. So, but you're okay. So there's a vodka, but you add iced tea and lemonade to it. Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
It's an iced tea flavored vodka.
It's it tastes like iced tea.
Oh, okay.
It's brown in nature, so you stick it in the refrigerator. You can drink it on its own, right?
Okay.
Or what I like to do is there is it's called there's an Arizona iced tea called it's a half and half. It's made by Arizona. You can pick it up in any convenience store. It's a mixture of iced tea and lemonade.
Oh, okay.
That's why they call it half and half. So you can actually add that to the mix. Like you could take, pour some of the Firefly in the cup, pour the half and half in the cup, little ice, and you're good to rock and roll.
Okay. I think there's also people that call an Arnold Palmer.
Yes.
The iced tea and lemonade.
Yes.
Half and half.
Yes. Yep. Now, there's a guy I work with, my partner. When I told him about it, because he likes to have the occasional drink on his day off, I told him about Firefly, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is so good! It's like the best I've ever had in my whole life. Love you, bye." I'm like, "You're welcome, dude." So yeah, definitely, if you get a chance to get a bottle of Firefly, it's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it. So I think tonight we've covered all things Halloween, kind of, and of course alcohol, which is a weird thing since we never talked about it. But
never.
You know what? It was definitely an interesting conversation because, again, you can enjoy things responsibly and still be productive members of society. So even if you have the occasional, oh my God, I'm so drunk, I'll never do this again, I hate myself, and then you put yourself together again tomorrow and become a productive member of society, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if it's something that, it incurs every single day and you have to have that, then you definitely have a problem. And I'm not mocking you or judging you, but you should definitely seek some help, because alcohol, again, is one of those things where you can enjoy it responsibly but still be a productive member of society. Now, with that being said, again, I am extending the invite for this Halloween episode this year, of course, obviously. I will look on the Anti-Social Show Facebook page, look on Zombie Bacterium on Twitter to find out the location, and, of course, when we get closer to this Halloween date, we'll let you know, because we never really have the Halloween episode on Halloween. We normally do it a couple of days prior or, a few weeks prior, however it happens. But we will definitely let you know when that's going to take place, because Tyson and I would love to have you on, because it's about time that we hear from you guys. Like, we want to know, what you enjoy about the show, what we could do to make it better, or just hear your voices overall. And like I said, if there's going to be two of you, we can accommodate three. If there's going to be three of you, that's fine. Just let us know, and we will definitely let you know when this will take place. So please join us, because, again, we love Halloween on this show. We've, we always have done the Combat Radio charity event, the Halloween thing. Now, in a recent conversation with Ethan Dentonmeyer, we don't have any confirmation on when this year's album is going to take place, if it takes place. But
right,
we will also let you know when and if that will happen. All proceeds, of course, go to charity. It's a good cause. You get a 2-disc album, a 2-disc set, and just jam-packed with awesomeness. You can haunt your neighborhood 365 days a year, 24/7. You can have Halloween in August, July, September, whenever you want to have it. So reach out, join us. We would love to have you. And that's all I got to say about that, as far as Gump, as far as Gump would say.
That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, be sure to look out for go to TysonSainer.com and also my YouTube channel to find my gaming videos. I've got a series of Minecraft ASMR videos that have been coming out. Recorded about 9 of the suckers so far, so I'm going to be trying to go for a Minecraft Monday every Monday for the next couple of weeks. Theoretically, I've been kind of doing them every other Mondays. I actually released I think the first Minecraft ASMR on the same day as when we recorded the explaining Minecraft video. So there was a twofer on that Monday, and that was a couple of weeks ago. But all the content is there, plus other gaming content. It's not all Minecraft, but like I'm starting to play more of it as I came to it quite late in life, or also in the late life of the game, as it were. Because it was like 10 years. It had been around for 10 years when I started playing it. And I have regular Minecraft videos where I'm just kind of learning to play Minecraft. But the Minecraft ASMR is literally just, it's close to 2 hours per video, or it's certainly over an hour and a half per video. And it is, I'm not talking. You're just seeing me playing Minecraft and figuring out what I'm going to do in the environment I've got and building a structure. I'm building a structure next to a pyramid that I found. So that's fun. And the area is overrun by zombies and monsters and skeletons and spiders every night. And there's an Enderman that keeps showing up and moving blocks around. So that's fun. Yes, Hunter.
And now that Antisocial Show has theoretically hit 100 episodes, we have. And we are moving into our 5th year this October.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly didn't know how this would go over the past almost 5 years now. So with that being said, it looks like we're going to be here to stay unless one of us dies. Hopefully not, God forbid, or I lose my voice. However it happens, but. Look out for the Antisocial Show website that I will be building in the very, 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 very near future.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, also go to YouTube and check out the Antisocial Show video experience. That is, I have a playlist of. There's 7 episodes, I believe.
Yes,
70
I think so, yeah.
70 through 76. But as we are currently recording what is essentially episode 97, there's quite a few that are still. In the can, and I will say right now that I think I'm putting too much work into the video version. I think I could probably get them out quicker if I didn't try to do as much as I did. If they were just edited and released with the minimum, captioning or whatever. So I'm going to try that and try to get stuff out. I've been recording the screen during my Tumblr sessions. Those of you may or may not know, that doesn't make any sense. Some of you know, some of you don't know that there is a podcast on Kevin Smith's Smodcast Internet Radio, or Smodco Internet Radio. And it's called Nooner. It's been running for about 10 years. And for at least the past, I'm going to say 5 years or more, I've been doing a live Tumblr. So if you listen to the show, I usually put up links for what they're talking about as they're talking about it. So you can go back through and kind of look and see the references to things or the links to things that they are talking about. It's just something I've been doing. Recently I've been doing a screen capture live as I've been doing this, so you can see what it looks like when I'm doing it from my perspective. So and in the meantime, you get to also listen to the podcast. So it's an interesting way to listen if you've never listened to it before. So that's also on my YouTube channel, along with all the content and all the stuff that directs you to our show together and any other things that we've been doing that we have links to or for.
Well, before we, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is definitely worthwhile. I definitely keep an eye out for Tyson when he's doing that. For the Nooner, because I love the Nooner myself. You're welcome. Sometimes I jump in there, comment on stuff and things like that. Mm-hmm. Try to get the conversation going. I want to, before we duck out, I just want to congratulate Kevin Smith on what is a very awesome comeback of Masters of the Universe. I got to meet him for the second time at the Stash for the celebration, and it was just... he definitely makes you feel like you're like one of the most important people he's ever met in his life, and that's each and every person he comes in contact with. So again, Kevin Smith, I know you're probably not going to listen to this, but again, congratulations on the Masters of the Universe Revelations. I can't wait for part 2 to come out, and in the meantime, I'm rebuilding my Masters of the Universe collection, and from when I lost it, obviously as a kid, which we all do, but. It's been exciting to recollect this stuff. I mean, when I picked up my second Castle Grayskull in my life, the only thing that was lacking was Scatman Crothers standing there saying, "Here's your tin can, kick it around and be a kid again." So go enjoy Masters of the Universe Revelations. It's on Netflix right now. Enjoy. Let me know what you think. You know how to reach us, and that's all I got.
Okay, and to tag up on your Kevin Smith thing, I would like to point out that in episode 76, which just recently got published as a video version, we actually recorded episode 76 back in May of 2019. So, at the time, Clerks 3 had been kind of announced or bounced around, and I expressed a great deal of doubt that it would happen, and also just mostly that whether it did happen or not, I wasn't going to get excited for it, because there had been many things that had been announced over the years that never got made, so there was no point in getting excited, and I would get excited when something happens. Well, currently, at this moment in time, Clerks 3 is either mid-production or is wrapped. I don't know, but it started production, I'm going to say a couple weeks to less than a month ago, maybe longer. Anyway, it's been filming, and so it's actually happening now.
Yes.
So I was
actually when I was looking at the video, and knowing the fact that Kevin has been in Jersey for the past month, at the actual RST video, and of course. Well, it's not RS2 video anymore, but actually at the Quick Stop, and filming this stuff, and he's taking pictures of himself walking through Highlands and stuff like that, his old neighborhood. It was actually pretty funny when we had that conversation, because at that point in time, Clerks 3 was not going to be a thing, and now it most certainly is going to be a thing. So that is something to look out for.
Well, you were definitely under the impression it wasn't going to happen due to certain characters, no, not characters, actual actors' deaths and whatnot, But there's ways around that. I mean, he introduced a bunch of new characters in the second movie, so he can write a story, so he can write his way out of real world events intervening if he needs to. He's good at that.
That's true.
Well, that's about all the time we have. Thank you for listening. I'm Tyson Sainer for Antisocial Show.
And I'm Hunter Block.
Be decent to each other.
Absolutely. Peace.
Have a good time, folks.